Okay, everything is looking pretty good. I haven't streamed live on YouTube in, gosh, it has to be over a year. So just want to make sure everything looks pretty good. Let's see here. Just keeping an eye on my chat. There I am, or on my stream over there on YouTube. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so it looks like there's maybe a bit of a delay, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is, but I've got my chat pulled up. Let me move my OBS over here. And yeah, we're gonna chat about our January book club. Excuse my voice. A lot of people have said they can't tell, but I have been sick again. So I was sick all of January. I finally got better. And then about 4 days ago, I caught just a pretty annoying cold. Just, you know, very congested. So it is what it is. But yeah, I do have the chat pulled up. Let me test the chat just to make sure the chat is working. Let's see. Okay, so that works. Add emotes. Here, can you guys see my emote if I send that? Let's see. There it is. Okay, cool. Looks like it's working. Nice. Okay. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just chat about our book club for January. We can talk other books we read in January, other reading plans we have for the month of February. And also I'm going to be crocheting a blanket. Let me move my camera here a little bit. There we go. Just so you can see more of the blanket. But yeah, I'll be crocheting while we discuss the book club. So January was, and hopefully everybody can hear me okay. But January was, oh goodness gracious, what was it? Oh, The Princess Bride. I was gonna say Princess Diaries. Not The Princess Diaries, Princess Bride. Princess Bride by William Goldman, I believe, is the author of that book. Let's see here. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, William Goldman is the author of The Princess Bride. And overall, from the conversations I've had over on my Discord, as well as on YouTube and whatnot, the general consensus of this book is that it's good. It's good. And I agree. I think this is a good one. I wonder if I can put up an image of the book. Let me see if I can add that. 1 second here. There's the book title there. Let me see if I can add. Add the picture of the book. There it is. There. Okay, cool. There it is. Oops. So, The Princess Bride by William Goldman. Hi, Joanne Thompson. Welcome in. Hello. We are just going to be crocheting and discussing The Princess Bride. And we are working on a blanket today. Oh, I should probably talk about that as well. We are working on a blanket today. This is a blanket that I am making my daughter for her birthday. She asked me for a blanket. She loves rainbow. And so here we are. Where is my band for this yarn? Gotta be around here somewhere. There's the yarn there. Good morning. Hi, Lindsay. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Hold on. Let me grab another one of the skeins and then I can show you the yarn. All right, so there is the yarn there. This is the Cover Story Dreamland from Lion Brand, and this is the color Rainbow. I love you. Oh, I love you. I told my daughter about you. Love the blanket. Those colors are beautiful. Aren't they so fun? I saw this one. It was rainbow. She's 5, my daughter, and so I just knew it was perfect. But I'm so glad that you're here to hang out with us while we talk about the book. We can talk about other books. We can talk about whatever we want, and we can just work on crochet. So. Okay, sorry, text message. Text message. So yes, this is the Lion Brand. What was it called again? Oh, worst memory. Dreamland. Cover Story Dreamland in the color Rainbow. It is a super bulky, and I'm currently using. Hold on, don't want to catch my blanket on fire with my little coffee heater that I have. I'm currently using a 12 millimeter furls hook. This is the Capricorn one. So very pretty. Very pretty. Maybe if it'll focus, perhaps. There we go. There is the 12 millimeter furls hook. Pretty big hook. Don't usually use one that big, but it's kind of nice to work up a blanket this size because it's actually working up pretty quickly. I saw this yarn at Joanne the other day. I thought it was so fun, isn't it? And it's really soft too. So this is the first time using this yarn in particular. And I kind of want to make now this is going to be the Afghan size. I want to make one for like my bed. Sorry I'm late. Oh, no worries. I'm Nick, Nicole, and Nikki. Awesome. Whatever you are all comfortable with. Wonderful. So this is, I can't remember what it was called on the pattern. And I'm kind of bad sometimes at like stitch names, but what you do, all it is, I think it's like a moss stitch maybe, but not a moss stitch. So you single crochet, chain 1, and then single crochet into the chain 1 space from the previous row. So chain 1, single, so there is the chain space there, single crochet. Chain 1, single crochet, and then at the end you do it twice in the beginning chain to kind of increase. I know the movie, didn't know about the book. Remind me what you said you were doing for the books. Oh, so every month we have a new book. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so the books, for the book blanket, I have 4 different granny squares. This is a blanket I'm making for my kiddo, so this is going to be a different blanket. But for the book blanket, 4 different squares depending on the rating that I give the book. So the star rating that I give the book. And then the colors of that square are determined by the book cover, which is actually that way. So I just have the book cover up there since we're going to be talking about the book while I crochet up the blanket. So this is actually nothing to do with the book blanket. Just wanted to work on this blanket while I chatted with you guys. I guess I could grab my square that I have for the book. Let me do that really quick. 1 second. I'm going to throw on my BRB screen while I grab that. That's just in my loft right next door. So just give me 1 second while I grab that. Okie dokie. So there we go. Here is the square of the book. Now, the green, it's fine. This is probably one of my least squares I actually made this month, or for the month of January. Oh no, you're good. No, you're just fine. You're all good. So this is the granny square that I did crochet up for this book. The green, not nearly yellow enough. Not nearly yellow enough, but it is what it is. I have the red in there for Buttercup, the black for Wesley, and then the green. But there's the square that I made for the Princess Bride. I gave the Princess Bride, I think, a 3.5 stars. Yeah, 3.5 stars. I liked it. I thought it was good. But I do think the movie's better. I really do. I think the movie is better. It's one of those rare cases where I don't think you need to read the book. Just watch the movie. I listened to the audiobook and it's kind of weird. So the only audiobook that is available is an abridged version, which is interesting. So the audiobook was only about 2 hours or so, maybe 3 hours tops. The audiobook is narrated by Rob Reiner. And that was cool, I guess. Rob Reiner was the director of The Princess Bride, along with so many others. I'm so glad that, yeah, it was fine. The book was fine, but it just, I don't know. I really do think I prefer the movie. I think the movie is definitely more romantic too. So I think a big focus on the book is like, oh, this is like romance, you know, oh, they love each other. But I'm like, do you really though? Do you really? So I guess we'll get kind of into some slight spoilers for the book and the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, I mean, it's been out for a while, so sorry, I guess. But in the movie, it's just, they just love each other because they have kind of, you know, grown up together, I guess. You know, they're just around each other, so they love each other, right? In the book, and the Buttercup in the book is one of the things I had the biggest issue with in the book. I don't like Buttercup in the book. I think she's kind of insufferable. I think she's kind of annoying. But in the book, the only reason she's like, well, I guess I love Wesley because a lady comes to the farm and this lady's like, wow, look at that Wesley guy. He's kind of a hunk, isn't he? I like him. And then Buttercup is like, huh, she can't like Wesley. I like Wesley. And so that's how their love story kind of starts. So I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And anyway, it's just interesting. I do find the book funny though. I was laughing out loud multiple times. So I did find the book very funny, and I love the characters of Fessick and Inigo. Love them. And in the movie too, love them. I've felt that way every now and then. Books are usually better. It's only because of details. Right. Absolutely. Usually the books are better. But this is one of those cases where no, it's not. I would recommend the movie over the book for sure. Hi, Sonnet. In my video posted February 2nd, I talked about your channel and gave you a shout out. Oh my gosh, Paige loves pumpkins. Thank you. I haven't been on YouTube this week. I'm preparing for vacation, so I haven't seen that mentioned yet, but I appreciate that so much. I will definitely go check that out. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much. I will be doing that. I need to catch up on comments and other things today here on YouTube. So I really, really appreciate that. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I get kind of behind on YouTube sometimes. So if it takes me like 2 weeks to respond to your comments, I'm sorry. I get so behind sometimes. But just know I love all of you. Lava you all so much. You guys are all so wonderful. And I'm so glad that we can have this time today to kind of crochet and talk about books and things. But what about you guys? Does anybody have any opinions on what you thought of the book? Anyone have anything you want to share? It doesn't necessarily have to be about the Princess Bride either. We can talk about whatever you want. Whatever you want. Also, usually, what's the next book? Oh, that's a great question. So the next book, sorry, this dang cold. Ooh, I needed to go away before I get sick or before I go on vacation, I mean. Okay, so let me switch this over. So for February, right? Because we're in February. The book is this one here, which is called Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by J. Penner. So let me see if I can pull up that description here real quick. Fellowship of Bakers. Oops. Let's see. Bakers and Magic. Okay, so it says here. Okay. Actually, here we go. A human, a dwarf, and an elf walk into a bake-off. That's kind of silly. In the heart of Adenshire, where elfish enchantments and dwarven delights rule, Arletta Starstone, a human confectionist, works twice as hard perfecting her unique blend of baking and apothecary herbs. So when an orc neighbor secretly enters her creations into the prestigious elven baking battle, Arletta faces a dilemma. Being magicless, her participation in the competition could draw more scowls than smiles. And if Arletta wants to prove her talent and establish her culinary reputation, this human will need more than just her pastry craft to sweeten the odds. While competing, she'll set off on a journey of mouth-watering pastries, self-discovery, heartwarming friendships, and romance, while questioning whether winning the baking battle is the true prize. How fun. Yeah, this square is going to be gorgeous. I'm going to definitely make sure I have like a really good green for this one. So that sounds really fun. This is a cozy fantasy. So cozy fantasy, for those that aren't familiar, it's kind of a newer, I feel, genre over the past few years, where you have like the fantastical elements, like the dwarves and the elves and fantasy, right? But there's much more low stakes. It's not a big epic battle. It usually makes you feel, again, cozy and warm and happy. So this one definitely feels like it's going to bring that with all of the baking foods. I have a feeling this book is going to make me so hungry for like sweets and things. So this one is going to be fun. So February's book is The Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. This is the first book in a series, so who knows, maybe down the line we might, read some more. I don't know. But yeah, oopsie, now that one's real big. Holy cow. Okay, let's make you a little smaller there, Princess Bride. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I guess I could make that actually a little bit smaller. But yeah, so there's the square there. I am currently editing the video that will be coming out on Saturday. That video will actually go over all of the books that I read in January. I will be giving you guys my opinions on those books and then sharing all of the squares that I made for those books. Have you looked up the audio options? I have. I might do an audio option for it. Let me take a look again. The Fellowship of Bakers and Magic audiobook. So it looks like it is available. The audiobook is available through Audible. And what's nice is it doesn't look like it's an Audible exclusive. So I've been really trying to get away from Audible audiobooks. And that's because Audible has done this thing, Amazon, I guess, where if they get like an exclusive, have you seen those like Audible exclusives? There'll be like a yellow band on it, Audible exclusive. I thought for a while that just meant that no other audiobook provider could, that it was just for Audible, but that also limits libraries from getting the audiobook too. If an audiobook is an Audible exclusive, not even libraries can get access to the book. And I find that pretty problematic because I feel like libraries are a really great and important resource to communities and to individuals that can't necessarily purchase audiobooks every month, right? So luckily, according to Audible here, it's not an Audible exclusive. Let me see if it's any other places. It looks like it is on a couple of other websites here. Listenbook.com. I don't know what that one is. So I would definitely try maybe the library. I'm going to check my library to see if I have it or to see if they have it. My only concern about this title, though, The Fellowship of Bakers and Magic, is it might be a little too, I don't want to say like obscure because I don't think so, but I don't know. It might be one of those titles that libraries might not have yet. We'll see though. I might try and get the audiobook from another retailer to see if I like that. Yes, always look at me too. I always look at my library first. Any book, really, unless it's a book that I'm like, I absolutely want to own this book. I need to have it in my collection. I always look at the library first. Always. And then also I try used bookstores a lot too. So especially if it's a book that has been out for a while, I'll go to used bookstores and see if they have them. And then if all else fails, I will then just usually purchase the audiobooks or the physical books. I have a book that reads like 3 to 5 a day. Wow. Gets library books because of the amount of books she reads. That's crazy. And yeah, it's a really amazing resource to have, the library. And I love to hear that people are utilizing it, and not just for like fictional novels and what we typically think of when we think of a library book. On the channel, I hear about so many of you guys that go to the library for crochet and amigurumi books. And I think that is so wonderful. So wonderful. Less wasteful too, just in case if you don't like the book, right? You're saving money, you're supporting your library. It's all so wonderful. I love the library. I actually work at my local library. I teach crafting classes there. So I'm very passionate about the library. But I probably will be doing an audio version of The Fellowship of Bakers and Magic, just because it's easier to sit here and crochet and listen to a book. So yeah, always check that library first. So that the book club will run from the first of the month through the end of the month. So since February is a little shorter, we have a little less time to read the book this month. But if you don't get around to finishing it, it's all good. No big deal. We'll do these kind of monthly meetups once a month. So I will schedule the next one in March and we can discuss the next book. So yeah. And then here too, probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll be planning our March book. I like to give everybody a lot of time, at least a week. If not, I try to give them more than a week. Notice of what the new book will be each month. That way people have time to find the book, right? So you have time to find if the library has it. If the library does have it, but say there's a wait, you can request it, and hopefully you can get it in the month that we're reading it. So in February, keep an eye out for the poll that we will be doing for March. March is known as middle grade March in a lot of book circles, and I love a middle grade book. So middle grade is focused more on that kind of junior high, age group. You're not quite a young adult, but you're getting older. You're starting to read some bigger stories. So we'll probably do a middle grade book for March. I love a good middle grade book because they can be just as powerful, if not more sometimes, than adult fiction. And I feel like a lot of people sleep on middle grade titles just because they think it's just a children's book, but middle grade titles can be really, really awesome. So plan on a middle grade book for March. Which one? Don't know yet. Not too sure. All right, let's see here. But yeah, overall, I believe it's 3.5 stars I did give The Princess Bride. I thought it was very adventurous. I thought it was very fun. Not a big fan of some of the characters, and there were some problematic things in it, to be honest. But it was a book of the 70s, right? So it wasn't that big of a deal. My husband and I did watch the movie after we read the audiobook. So we actually listened to the audiobook together, which was fun. And we then watched the movie shortly after that. Now, I'm the kind of... I actually never grew up watching The Princess Bride. I didn't see it for the first time until I was maybe about 18. And so I don't have the nostalgia around the movie that a lot of people do. And when I first saw it, I was like, it's just okay. It's fine. It is what it is. I didn't think it was that great. But every time I watch it, and as I get older and older, I do appreciate it more. I do think it is very funny. I do feel like the characters in the film are very endearing, and it's just a fun time. It's just a really, really fun time. So, yeah. Movie, great. Book, it's fine. One of my favorite audiobooks is Castle Hangnail, and it's a middle grade book. Very cute. Ooh, what is that one about? That sounds cool. Let's look into that one. Castle Hangnail. Let's see. Castle Hangnail. Molly, a 12-year-old, just wants to be a wicked but not evil witch and does not want to be the good twin. Okay. How fun is that? That cover is really cute too. Really fun. I'll have to add this one to the list. I'm always on the search for a good middle grade book. One, because I love them so much, but two, as my kiddo gets older, I get more and more excited about reading them to her. So that's fun. I like, though, reading them beforehand because then I could decide if she's ready for them. My child is very sensitive. She's a lot like me. She's very sensitive to things and she gets very scared. So there's some books that I'm like, oh my, we might not be ready. Buttercup always frustrated me some because she's a little, oh, that's a good point. She is kind of helpless. She does have that whole, like, I did notice that watching the movie too, where she just kind of does what they tell her to. She just does it. You know, it's like, oh, stand up for yourself. I mean, she does, I guess, a little bit in the movie. She kind of has a little bit of sass. But I do agree that she kind of is pretty helpless, for sure. Absolutely. I know one of the readers in our Discord had mentioned that they did not like the way that Wesley actually spoke to Buttercup in the book. Let me pull up my Discord server here. Books. Let's see. Do. Okay, so this is what they said. They said, and I guess there is kind of a little bit of spoilers, but this is Keeper of the Skate, one of my dear friends. She says here, the ending sucks. Like, really, really sucks. And I agree. If you've read the book, the ending is kind of like, really? I'm very nostalgic of the movie, so enjoyed Fezzik and Indigo, and thought that Wesley could have been less rude to Buttercup. That was her opinion on that. I found it at my library and highly recommend for kids. Oh, good. The minions are treated like good citizens. Very cool. That's awesome. She could have been a strong protagonist, but when push comes to shove, she stands to the side. Absolutely. I agree with that too. 100%. Oh, I didn't like the movie until my late 20s. Okay. Could have been amazing, but she was a doormat. Yes. So, and that's the thing in the movie. She has those glimpses of her being like strong and sassy and like, I'm gonna do it. But she then just is kind of like, whatever, here I go. Okay, fine. Put me, kidnap me, whatever. Just saying hi from the waiting room. Sounds like my friend Sergio will be quick and easy. Wonderful. Hi, Erin. Thank you so much for dropping in. I'm glad that it'll be quick and easy. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you very much. All right. I do feel though that the casting in the movie is really good though. I feel like the casting is pretty spot on. Okay, but Buttercup was in a time and that's a good point, Faith. That's a very good point. Time and place where women and children were to be seen and not heard. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do. A devil's advocate, I love it. I love it. I wish cats would communicate more quickly, more clearly. It's so hard to tell what she really feels about the book, right? Aaron's joking there because Kat said the ending sucks. Russ is kicking butt and she just watches, right? Or yeah, yep. Excuse me, sorry. No, I do love that whole devil's advocate thing. Their Faith. You're right. You're right. The time and place, they didn't. They were kind of, you just were there. Don't speak. Don't think. How dare you? How dare you be a woman? So I do get that for sure. Time has evolved. Now we like a feminist who takes on the world with snark and attitude. Yes. And that's a good point. Well, and also I think about it too. So the book was written in the 70s. The movie came out in the 80s. Times have changed a lot since then too, right? I feel like people were advocating more for women standing up for themselves, even at those times, absolutely. But it was still very much, and even now, even this day and age, it is very much, you know, you do your wife womanly duties, right? So no clue when it was written. I think it was 70, I don't know. I'm going to say 1976. Let's see how good I am. The Princess Bride book. Let's see. 73. Dang. Off by 3 years. Glad I caught you. Yes, I'm so glad. So glad, Erin. I love you. You are so wonderful. Yes, the yarn is very cozy, very soft. This will be a blanket for my kiddo for her birthday. That's what she asked me for her birthday was a blanket. So I said gladly. So we have the rainbow yarn. So soft. She's going to love it. She's going to love it so much. And what's so nice too, because it's a bulky yarn with the 12mm hook, it's working up lickety split. Lickety split. I will finish this blanket in a matter of just a couple of weeks, whereas normally it takes me months to make a blanket. So that's good. Yeah, that is good. But yeah, even back in 1973, you know, things were changing, right? I feel like they're always evolving, but it was still very much acceptable for women to just be seen and not heard, like you mentioned. And the children and women are supposed to shut up and obey. Yep, that's why I didn't like anything promoting it. I wasn't fun at movie parties pointing that out. I get it. Antisocial auntie. I get it. I understand. No, stop that. Stop saying that, Erin. Wifely duties trademarked. The 70s was 50 years ago. Wow. Oh my gosh, that is sad. That makes me, wow. Because I'm one of those people where I'm like, yeah, the 90s. That was like 10 years ago. I remember 1999. It was like 10 years ago. No, no, it wasn't. Dang. During that time frame, Buttercup would have been doing what was expected since that's what she was supposed to do. Yes. Now we would just laugh and say no while walking away. That is a very good point. That is a very good point. And so that brings up the question then that's kind of interesting when it comes to books. You know, are we maybe a little too hard on titles with female characters in certain time frames because we're looking at them through a modern lens? You know what I mean? I don't know. Interesting thing to think about. How does our modern lens that we have now really affect how we view just all media, right? Because I totally understand that mentality of, having, women seen and not heard is not okay, regardless of the times, right? And it's not. It was never okay. And I feel that's good to stand up for that. But at the same time, it's good to kind of view content, with a different lens of this is this way because of it when it was written. Doesn't make it okay, but it's why it was this way. Oh, I'm falling in love with mystical yarn. What is that? Yeah, work is insane for sure. Oh, I refused to say obey in my wedding vows. That was 1989. Good for you. That's wonderful. That's awesome. I love that. I absolutely love that. I am harsher on women characters written by men. Oh, for sure. Reading has to be read through the lens of when it was written, right? We may not like the way it was, but we cannot change what was. Absolutely. And we can't change it, but we can learn from it. So I think that's the thing. We read it with and understand that we can't change this. It is problematic, but we then learn from it, know better, do better, right? That kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand. I understand that for sure. We definitely pretty harsh. Doesn't match our values. Yeah, for sure. We are very harsh. And again, I think it's okay to say things like, well, that wasn't okay then, but still understand that, you know, we then just learn to change what we can change. We work on what we can work out now. Bye, Erin. Love you. Oh, it's the Bernat. Okay. Blanket, Misty Cal. Oh my gosh. Wow. Misty Cal yarn. Oh my gosh. That sounds awesome. I haven't worked with Bernat in a long time. Long time. I should though, because I do like it. All right. So yeah, overall, all in all, I'm so glad we were able to have the live and we were able to kind of talk about this, get your guys' opinions. So fun. Thank you so much for joining me for the book club. If you didn't get a chance to read the book, totally cool. Super glad you're here. If you did get a chance to read the book, but you're just kind of hanging out, just observing, just know I appreciate you regardless. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys doing this book club with me. It's awesome, and it's nice to have a really cool community to read along with. Going forward, I have decided pretty much all of the books we read, I'm gonna try and make sure they are a little bit on the, I don't want to say lighthearted side, but I don't want to get too intense with some of the reads, because I know some can be rather sensitive. So just know going, in the future, book club should be a pretty safe space for most. And if any books do contain, problematic content, I can definitely post like trigger warnings and stuff like that as well. I feel like reading is not there for us to criticize just because people 50, yeah, we're a different thought process. Right. Absolutely. I agree. You don't have to agree with it, but that's the content that they made. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I kind of like, excuse me, dang cold, on like the Disney Plus stuff. So some of the older Disney titles, there's a disclaimer saying, hey, there's some pretty insensitive stuff. It wasn't okay. It's not okay now. It wasn't okay then, but we're leaving it because we're going to learn from it. And I think that's how we should view all media, for sure. So it was a product of its time. It was a product of its time. And like you said, Faith, read, consume, do whatever it is, listen through the lens of when it was created. Try and understand what they were trying to say. And yeah. I'm glad I caught the live. You are awesome. Have a safe, fun, and relaxing vacation. Thank you, everybody. Times are evolving. Absolutely. Yes, I will be on vacation through the 15th of February. However, I did pre-film, so a video will be coming out on Saturday where I talk about all of the books that I read in February. Here, well, let's switch to this one here. All of the books I read in February will be coming out, or not February, January. And all of the squares that I made from those books, I will be sharing on Saturday's video. That one is going to be a little longer, so I talk a lot, I guess. And then on the 15th, I have a video where I just talk about tips for beginners. But I think there's some good tips for all crocheters and amigurumi makers there. So that's the plan. And yeah, the book for 20, gosh, my brain is broken. The book for 2020, stop it, Sonnet. The book for February, the book for February is going to be this one, which is Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by Jay Penner. I will be scheduling a live next month, so very similar to this one where we will talk about this book. And yeah. Thank you everybody for joining me today. You guys are amazing. I love you so much. I hope you have a fantastic couple of weeks. And as always, I'll see you all a little later. Bye everybody. Have a good one. See you later.